I'm here with Monty Mayhorter, the head coach at West Noble High School. Monty, last year you ended up at 2-8. Your thoughts a little bit on last season?
We got better as the year went on. We played a lot of young kids, a lot of them coming back this year, so this will be, we're hoping for improvement this year.
What do you have returning on the offensive side of the ball this year?
Total, we've got, I think, 15 returning lettermen, and I think we have 8 returning offensive starters, including our running back, quarterback, center, tight end, 2 offensive linemen, 2 receivers. So.
What do you look like on the defensive side, Dan?
On defense, we have more kids back. I think every kid that's going to start on the defense, except for one senior that came out this year, started at least 3 games last year. So we're looking forward to starting off defense being our strength.
So it sounds like you got a lot of experience coming back with last year's.
Kids. We're not going to be overly big, but we're going to be a little bit faster than we've been in the past. This has been a good group of kids coming through this year's juniors group. There's not a large number of seniors, but the kids are there, good quality kids, so we're expecting a lot of leadership from them.
Who do you look at as your leaders?
Jake Rubright to start with, kid that went to the state finals in wrestling last year, state tournament I should say. Austin Pension, another senior, playing tight end, defensive end. We are going to have a lot of kids that are going to be playing both ways, but again, we're not as big, so I think kids are in better shape and ready to go. So.
What were your key losses last year, and how have you addressed to fill in those holes?
We lost an defensive lineman, Luke Ratliff. He was probably our best player last year. He brought a lot to the team attitude-wise and stuff, and that's kind of what we're trying to get carried over from him. We lost some quality seniors, receivers, running back, but I think they're kids that we can replace.
In 2005, you had a tremendous team up here. You won a conference.
Yeah.
And kind of fell off a couple years after that. What do you think you need to? Is this team ready to jump up to that? I mean, work its way.
I'm not sure if they're quite to that level, but you know, the team surprise you. I think they have the talent to be able to be there. I'm not sure they understand the work ethic and what it's necessary to do to be up there. There's some good teams in the conference too that are going to make that a challenge. A lot of it's going to depend on injuries and who plays where, who plays well each week. And I would not be surprised that the team that wins conference this year has a couple losses.
Speaking of that, who do you look forward to be the conference leaders this year?
I think you start with Fairfield. I mean, they got a lot of kids back, and they shared it last year. Busco's got Matheson and Monk coming back. Angola's got Bauer and the 2 receivers coming back. A huge senior class. So I think those teams right there to start with. But then I think there's quite a few teams that are right at their heels there, which I would include us in. It's hard to judge coming out of 2 days where you're really at because really all you've done is beat up on yourselves. So everybody thinks their team's doing real well at this point. But again, I know from having coached for a number of years now that it's lots going to come down to how the kids fare through weeks and weeks of poundings and stuff. The teams that can stay the healthiest, the teams that can keep their best players on the field the most, those are the teams that are going to come out ahead.
What you think about the Busco matchup with West Noble this year?
That was one of our highlights last year. I mean, Busco, I don't think they had lost going into our game. And we shut them out for all of 3 quarters. And then we made a couple mistakes. We threw a bad pass that ended up being a fumble and was picked up and returned for a touchdown. They scored a touchdown that they fumbled through the end zone they shouldn't have had. Good teams have good things happen to them. So, but we're always excited about playing Busco. They've got a good quality program, good coaching, good players. They always give you a good tough match. So.